It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. The very first thing I want to do is I want to recognize the entire Document Imaging channel as being the world's greatest channel at delivering A3 copy machines, production print copy machines. Nobody in the world, not any other distribution channel, not any other conduit to deliver print equipment that's A3 or production to end users was able to touch the imaging channel. They knocked it out of the park. For decades, they owned the space, they won the trophy. Think about this big, huge trophy made out of solid gold. And at the top of it, it says, Imaging Channel, you won, the greatest A3 salespeople in the world. You won it, overselling and overspecking 5-year leases, premature upgrades. That whole model is yours. You own it, you won it. Now that you've all recognized that you won something, that you were the greatest at it, it's time to slap yourself in the face. And it's time to win a new trophy. And the new trophy is how to figure out how to replace all the A3 revenue you're going to lose as your customers start buying A4. Because they have so many options. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not the only option. The BTA organization dealers is not the only option for manufacturers to sell print equipment to end users. Think about this, my friends. Here's all their options. They got the office products reseller space. Guess what? You won. You were the greatest at A3. Let me get my pen working here, folks. You were the absolute phenomenal winners. A3 imaging channel wins. Office products resellers couldn't penetrate A3 business. Guess what? They never wanted to. What they've been doing really well at, though, is selling A4. The only question you got to ask yourself is, when will they start replacing your A3s with A4s? And the answer to that question? Well, I gotta be honest, I think it's pretty soon. IT Services Channel, the Document Imaging Channel crushed the IT Services Channel. Those people couldn't sell an A3 if they just couldn't do it, folks. They wouldn't know how to put it in the back of a van or anything. There's no way they could ever do it. But you know what they've been doing? They've been selling your customers A4 supplies. They've been doing it for decades. They're doing it really good. So the only question you got to ask yourself is, when will they start replacing your A3s with A4s? Because they know how to do that. They've been doing that pretty well. But don't let me, cut you short here, folks. If you're in the imaging channel, you beat the crap out of the IT services channel selling A3 at production print. I mean, you own that space. The big box, Amazon, Staples, Office Depot. Oh man, imaging channel, you crushed it. Those people can't sell A3. Does anybody remember the time, I think it was Office Depot years ago, they used to have the big A3s in there? That's back when they were just complicated. They came in like 97 different boxes, parts and supplies, and they thought customers were going to go in there and buy an A3 and, load it up on pallets and take it back to their office. Well, that failed miserably, didn't really go anywhere. So guess what? So aren't you so glad you got this trophy? Think about it. The world's best A3 sellers in the whole damn world, the imaging channel. You crushed them. But you know what they've been doing? They've been selling your customers A4 like crazy. During this pandemic, guess what? You can't even find an A4 on the shelf in their stores. They sold so damn many of them. Knocked it out of the park. But again, you beat the shit out of them on the A3 sector. Wholesale distributors, Tech Datas of the world, CDWs of the world. They don't know how to sell A3 to end users. Hell, you beat the hell out of them again. Crushed them. Did a fantastic job. Production print? Oh yeah. Gonna call up Tech Data and buy my production printer. Not gonna happen. Imaging channel won. But ladies and gentlemen, all that A3 and all that production that you won the award for, guess what? Now your customers are starting to realize they don't need it. And that awareness is getting, man, they're really getting aware. And so I'm going to tell you something that Wayne Calloway said a long, long time ago. Wayne Calloway, he was the president of Pepsi, and he said, nothing focuses the mind better than a competitor who wants to wipe you off the map. So ladies and gentlemen, you might have won the award for selling the most A3 in the world. You got the prize, you won it. If it was a wrestling match, you'd have a big giant belt with, that big old belt with a gold thing that says you're the champions. You guys could high-five each other and have all kinds of fun. But the reality of it is, all these other players on the pie, they are coming after you. And they're going to continue to sell the A4s they've already been selling your customers. They're doing quite well at that. I mean, they pretty much, beat you there. Sorry, they did. But they're now going to replace those A3s with A4s. Do you see how much easier it is for them to do that? They're already there. They've been doing it successfully. They're already there. And the whole time, you've been procrastinating because you think everything's about A3. You think everything's about production print. You built no digital platform. You don't have a better means for those customers to get that product. You insist on everything being on a contract. All that shit worked. Got you the trophy, but you already won the trophy. Now it's time to shift. It's time to shift your mindset. It's time to shift your thinking. It's time that you build. You got to build your own pie chart, folks. And the first thing you got to do is you got to cut out all the crap that's keeping you in that A3 mentality. All those mindsets got to go. Cut that piece out and get rid of it. We've all heard that saying, we're on a train and we're going to the future. And that train's going to drive fast. And I'm going to pull up at the next stop. And if you're not going to stay with me and go forward, if you're not going to help us deliver the future to the present, then get the hell off the train at the next stop. I think a lot of my friends in the document imaging channel need to have that speech with their people and get ready to cut them loose if they got to. Get ready to cut status quo out of your pie. And then you need to look at your business, but look at your business like one of those other conduits is looking at it. Look at your business like the wholesale distributors are looking at it, because they're looking at it. They're looking inside those customers' offices and they're trying to figure out. They're trying to figure out how they can deliver more and more and more in a better way, in a better means. IT service providers, they're looking in your customers. They're trying to figure out how to get those A3s out of the hallway, replace that money with cloud services and other things they can offer. Because they're not afraid of A4. They've been doing it for a long time. Office products resellers, the same thing, folks. They're trying to figure out how to take away the A3s and put A4s. So quit thinking to yourself that this is about an A3, A4 competition in your own little world. It's not. Stop competing with yourself. The document imaging channel is competing with itself instead of competing with the threats around it. And if you keep competing with yourself and fighting over A3 and lowering service cost and doing videos and talking about how you're saving customers all this money because one person's lease rate was higher than the other person's, all this crazy nonsense, and you still want to participate in vendor auctions so you can move oversold equipment, these other channel providers are going to come and stomp all over you. And I want you to win the A4 trophy just like you won the A3 trophy. I want that A4 trophy to go to the damn imaging channel, because they're the ones that brought the print and services and supplies to end users first. And they should be the one that brings it to them till they don't do it anymore. And while they're bringing it to them, they can diversify. They can start adding other services. Or they could just sit in the clouds. They could be delusional. They could talk about disrupting A3. They could talk about all the reasons why they don't want to sell A4. Or they could take these threats serious and start building strategies to deliver to the market based on those realities. My friends, I'm going to end this the way I always do. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.